Hey everybody, this is the second real life superhero debut intro with the same costume, the blue and gray actual sweatsuit with the zipper, with actual sweatpants and the other accessories that go with it. Yeah, this is the same video, only this time, once again, this time Kurt Angle's Impact Wrestling theme will be my walkout song. The intro song will once again be Nick Flicks, Something You Can Never Own. I apologize for the situation with my dog in the previous version. So yeah, other than that, the taunts and mannerisms and everything else will be the same. So with that being said, let's get started right now.
Don't wanna sleep in, cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think of you and all the shit you gon' do. Well, I'ma make hella sure that I don't become you. Have no regrets, yeah, outside of my chest. I'll never forget what it's like to be in debt. Been stabbed in the back bed, I'll show you what happens. Pass me the mic and I'll show you with action. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you could never own. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you could never own.
I'm fed up, dismissing the competition. You're hopeless, I'm trash, they're efficient. Listen, you want a class on tradition? My one condition, forget the best of the century. Talk about the best of all time, you better mention me. Essentially, I'm the best that's ever gonna be. I hold my ground, you never take it from under me. Don't run to me, it's gonna be trouble. I hit you so many times, you see triple or double instead of one of me. I got more heart, more way to tear you apart. I lay you down on the ground. Made it right, it's no different to me. If you tap out, cash out, or simply pass out for free. Cause you face down, really, barely alive. Cause I'm an animal inside, hear me? I'm what the game is supposed to be. Hopefully you see what I mean. Knock you out, have a scene. You were beaten by a triple team. Box you out the whole scene. And lean, alive like my dream. I shine bright, smash you, front to back. You gon' need hindsight. In fact, when I attack, you're lucky if I need to attack. I'm prone to overkill. I work you over till I steal your motor skills. To sing whenever I'm done. You're numb, throw the thumb. Folks can't remember their name, or where they're from. And some speechless, slow, looking deaf and dumb. You're weak like 7 days. Dead afraid, I'm amazed. Don't still step up, cause I hit more men than Jenna Jameson in better days. You can't clear your head, you with a Jenna Hayes.
Sup people? It's time for another Street Fighter real life superhero review. This time, Street Fighter Alpha, the animation. One of my all-time favorite and best Street Fighters, and underrated Street Fighters, because I consider this one to be vastly superior to the iconic Street Fighter 2, the anime film, which I'm going to elaborate more when I make my grand entrance on camera. To see the original Part 1, which is bundled together with Street Fighter 2, the anime film, together, I reviewed both of those together in 2022, webcam and narration. Both the links to those will be in the description box below, especially since I get a whole lot of reviews on them. This is the epic. I've talked about the animated series multiple times. Finally got to get around to talking about those anime movies, and especially this one, Alpha the animation. So yeah, I'll have a small change in costume in here, like you see in the intro. When I did the intro to this, I forgot my trunks over my my blue my blue gym trunks over my blue gym and basketball trunks over my gray pants. So in that intro, you see in the intro you see me without the trunks, just the pants, the gray pants without the trunks. Yeah, I decided that's not only is that an alternate look, but that's an awesome look, and I decided to keep this refreshing since the costumes and outro for the most part will be the same. To this time, so this time the intros sort of match. This time I won't be wearing the trunks in this one. It'll just be the gray pants, sweat jacket, glove shades, high top, and one clown shoes with tape, and everything else. So yeah, with that being said, let me start the movie Alpha the animation and make my grand entrance on camera. Yeah, like I said in part 1, of the Street Fighter anime films and of the Street Fighter adaptations, I consider this to be vastly superior to the anime film because this one focuses on a very epic alpha storyline. In my opinion, one of the most exciting and coolest and best time periods in Street Fighter. It's so awesome and exciting. I badly want Capcom to remake that time period when they're done telling the story of Street Fighter. I want them to go back and redo all those games from Street Fighter 1 from Street Fighter 1 through 3, from Street Fighter 1 through 3 and 4, the actual way with updated graphics, visuals, and an actual story mode, something they wouldn't include until 5 and 6, an actual open world or NetherRealm studio style of story mode, and tell those stories the way they were meant to be told, instead of the various single player dramatic battle campaign that they have. Because this was the most exciting time period of Street Fighter. This was somewhere in the late 80s, and a sequel to Street Fighter 1 and a prequel to the very epic Street Fighter 2. Street Fighter 2 with the lights of Ryu, Ken, Charlie, Aiden, Rose the Fortune Teller, the final fight characters, Guy, Saddam, Rolento, and later Cody, Birdie from Street Fighter 1, Gen, Akuma, and the whole storyline focuses on Ryu's rivalries with Sagat, Akuma, his struggle to overcome the Dark Huddle, and the final in Street Fighter Alpha 3, his final battle with Bison. This particular film, which was created to celebrate the 13th, the 13th anniversary of the 14th and 13th anniversary of Street Fighter, the Street Fighter video game series. This was the second anime produced product. Even though this is the Alpha storyline, just like Victory, it has nothing to do with Street Fighter 2, the anime. It has just the anime movie, or the Victory, what's his name. Even though several voice actors from that come back to reprise their roles here. Here. This is loosely based upon the Alpha 1 and 2 storylines, as it features Ryu having just defeated Sagat. Sagat is not seen, but he's mentioned. Defeating Sagat is off to the next challenge and is trying to overcome the Dark Huddle energy inside of him, and it focuses on his rivalry and feud with Akuma, who those two began fighting at the end of the movie. Even though it's loosely based on that, it features an original created character in Sattler, a mad scientist, half human, half cyborg, who collects data on the Street Fighters and utilizes that data and turns it against them. The main antagonist here reminds me of Cell from Dragon Ball Z and Gigas from World Heroes. And even though Sattler was here, this was still a complete, for the most part, original adaptation of Street Fighter. The only difference is Sattler's here, and oh yeah, Shun, the other new character, Shun, a little kid in a subplot, a little kid shows up to the temple Ryu and Ken train at, pretending to be Ryu's brother. We later learned he was hired. You later learned it was all false, and he was hired by Sattler to lure. He was hired by Sattler to lure Ryu and Ken and the other Street Fighters to the island for a tournament. For a tournament where each of them are kidnapped. Where each of them are kidnapped and have their data sampled. And in the final battle, Ryu, Ken, and Chun-Li fight Sattler, with Ryu just barely defeating him with the gigantic Hadouken, severely and fatally wounding Sattler. And the film ends with Ryu's final battle with Akuma. The other Street Fighters the other Street Fighters who appear, the main characters are Ryu, Ken, Sakura, and that girl you see her with in the video games, who you see in her cutscenes in the video games with the brown shoes. I keep forgetting her name. And Chun-Li. Those are your four main characters, with Sattler being the overall main antagonist, being the stand-in for Bison. The next character, the other characters in the film include my boy Aiden. Finally, he makes his way into a Street Fighter media. He was in the animated series, but he has silent cameos. Here, he actually has a small minor supporting role in the film, and it's a funny scene where he's arguing with Saddam. You have the goofy and eccentric Mad Gear member, Saddam, with his, there's not much backstory, but his personality is left intact. He's more goofy and eccentric here than he was in the video game. Saddam, Rolling Toe makes an appearance. Dan is here. There's loud and obnoxious here. Dan finally makes his way into a Street Fighter media. Dan Dawson, and of course Dawson and Zangief, who Zangief got the shaft in this film. He's the only Street Fighter who got the shaft. The only thing I didn't like, I'll get to Zangief in a minute, what they did with Zangief. And finally, in his biggest role in any Street Fighter media, Birdie has an appearance, and he has a heroic role. And like I said, Rose and Akuma made numerous cameos, but other than they play a big part in the plot, but they don't do much fighting. They don't do much fighting. Another disappointment. One of the only disappointments. So that was the first disappointment. Rose and Akuma appear, but they don't really do much fighting. You don't really get to see them in action. Number two, the second problem I had was Zangief. He got the shaft. First off, once again, every adaptation gets it wrong. Even the Japanese. Actually, the Japanese get it more wrong. The American movie is the only one. The American movie and Udon comics are the only one to get it right. Zangief is not affiliated with Shadaloo. In every adaptation, he is a Shadaloo thug. The movie got it right because Zangief was with Shadaloo there, but only because he thought Shadaloo was the good guys, and that his people, and that the AN were the bad guys. The AN were the bad guys. So the live action is the only one close to getting it right, followed by the Udon comic books. Every adaptation has Zangief working with Shadaloo, despite the fact this is supposed to be closer. These adaptations are supposed to be closer and a better representation of the games than the live action film was. By the way, I also apologize for the quality here. I badly want to do this during the daytime, and you can't tell because of the light right there, but it's getting dark soon. We're approaching evening, so I apologize for the quality here. Now back to the review. So yeah, Zangief, and he only shows up here for a brutal fight with Shun, where out of character, Zangief is a sadistic, silent, dim-witted monster who loves abusing and killing kids. He fights and beat up a kid. I'm pretty sure Zangief in the film would draw the line at fighting and severely injuring a kid. So yeah, he's just a silent, unintelligent, mute thug who loves abusing, fighting, and killing kids. And his last appearance, he falls off on a ledge, which they don't ever make it clear that he survived, but I'm pretty sure he survived. He falls off a ledge and is never seen or heard from again in the film. Yeah, Zangief keeps getting the shaft in all of these adaptations. He keeps getting the shaft. One thing I like about this is the other Street Fighters, they made better use of the supporting Street Fighter cast than anime movies did. The other Street Fighters are a little bit more involved in the story compared to what they were in the previous one, where they just showed up for a fight here or two. Yeah.
What's wrong?
Yeah. Third thing I like about this film is the film, just like Street Fighter 2, the anime film, they open up for a sequel, a follow-up, and there was no follow-up. This was Alpha 1 and 2. I was waiting for Alpha 3, where Bison will reveal himself as the real leader of Shadaloo. Real Shadaloo, and that Sattler was just a puppet. I've been waiting a decade for that. It never happened, where Bison will show up and reveal that he was the true leader of Shadaloo. He was the true leader of Shadaloo. Then we'll get the other characters like Cody, which will have his storyline where he gets framed by the Mad Gear Gang and sent to jail for his crimes, and them adapting Ryu's first confrontation with Bison and Akuma's search for the Aiden's search for the Aiden's search and eventual fight with the Akuma warrior, the mysterious Akuma warrior, which also led him to a fight with Bison, which he actually took Bison to the distance, but Bison Psycho Power allowed him to eventually overwhelm. Psycho Power and superior endurance allowed him to overwhelm Aiden, and was actually about to kill him until Akuma made the save and performed the Shigatsu no Hano, but didn't kill Bison. And Ryu finally giving Bison his first actual defeat and first actual kill, destroying his body. All of that took place in the Street Fighter Alpha 3 storyline. The rest of Alpha 2 with the whole death of Charlie and the bringing of Guile into the franchise. I was waiting decades, 2 decades for that, and we still haven't got it. Even Anime News Network agree with me. They gave this an A-. Everything was good except for his open ending. Yeah. But I consider this to be the underrated Street Fighter. It has a mixed reaction. Some like it, some don't. I love it, and I think it's one of the best adaptations around, alongside the animated series and the Udon comics. These are the supreme best Street Fighter adaptations outside of their video game.
Looks like your average type kid to me.
Video game. You got, like I said, the previous cast from the previous ones returned, with new additions being Stephen Bloom, who voices Ken. He voices Ken in this one, the legendary Stephen Bloom. And when it comes to the action, while I love the realistic action of the Street Fighter 2 anime, I prefer the old school anime action of this. I also prefer the awesome updated 2000s animation compared to the 90s. The 90s style the Street Fighter 2 the anime film has. So yeah, this right here is a prototypical Naruto Bleach. Is a prototypical Naruto Bleach and all the awesome animes that were in the 2000s right here.
So I came in a place.
Music is okay, but it's inferior to the original Street Fighter 2 anime film. That's the one of the things that was better about the Street Fighter 2 anime film than this. But I think this is better because I like the Alpha storyline and time period more. Love this so much. Working on my own fan fiction sequel of the Aftermath that happens after this, which is coming in the future. Yeah, and there'll be more reviews of this. Finally got to talk about this again. I always talk about the animated series. Let's talk about this one, Street Fighter Adaptation 2. So yeah, to see the previous versions, the links will be in the description box below. You don't want to hear the rest of the music? Turn the video off right now.
Don't wanna sleep in, cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think of you and all the shit you don't do. Well, I'ma make hella sure that I don't become you. Have no regrets, yeah, I'm tired of my chest. I'll never forget what it's like just being dead. Been stabbed in the back bed, I'll show you what happens. Pass me the mic and I'll show you with action. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn back things that my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn back to things that my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. Fight and fight and die for the things you know you love. To what you think is right, and you like to intertwine. So fight and die for the things you know you love. To what you think is right, and you like to intertwine. So give me all the scars, I'm a human being. Cover them with tattoos so you can't see. Knew it from the start, you had problems with me and the things I could be, I just wish I had seen. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to games, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to games, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into